Breaking before we go to air, the NSA is apparently said to have exploited the Heartbleed bug for its own intelligence uses. This broke early today from Bloomberg News. The U.S. National Security Agency, our good friends at the NSA, knew for at least 2 years about this new Heartbleed bug, and they knew that it made websites vulnerable. About 2/3 of the websites across the world are vulnerable. Use this particular I'm going to mess up the way I say it, OpenSSL. Anyway, the thing that gets me the most about this particular issue is that the NSA knew about this bug. They did not tell Americans about this bug and instead exploited it for themselves. We have a statement from a former Air Force cyber officer who says that flies in the face of the agency's comments that defense comes first. They're going to be completely shredded by the computer security community for this.
I'm shocked that the NSA would exploit a security vulnerability for its own use.
Me too.
How was that for Dead Man? Was that
fantastic.
good? Did I get it across?
Yeah,
I mean, of course they're doing this. Actually, about 2 hours ago, I got an email from Tumblr, which was one of the affected sites, and my Tumblr, which is rubinreport.tumblr.com. So if you want to see what happened to some that were compromised, you can look at mine, which normally has a nice template that I paid for, and it looks sharp and good, and I have videos and a bunch of stuff. It's completely upside down right now.
Really?
So it's actually something real. You know, a lot of times we hear about these things, and we're like, did it affect anybody? Did the password get screwed up? Well, this one actually is legit.
So
seriously.
They've been saying ever since Edward Snowden revealed what the NSA has been doing, their defense has always been that we're doing this for your security. We're doing this for you. This is going to keep you safer. There's lots of threats out there. Dianne Feinstein famously said on Meet the Press, they have big bombs that go boom. And so you got to watch out for that. So they're supposed to keep us safe. But the thing that would have kept us the most safe is when the NSA discovered this glitch in the OpenSSL. They would have alerted everyone and said, hey, fix it, because now you're all vulnerable, and there's going to be other governments can now get your stuff, there's going to be criminals who can get your stuff, but they didn't do that because they don't give a shit about your security, and they don't give a shit about our defense. They only give a shit about doing nefarious stuff, because they're human beings, which is why you keep people like that on a short leash, and which is why we have the Fourth Amendment, and you don't let people do stuff like that, because this is what happens. They're just human beings, and they don't give a shit about helping America or your privacy, because if they did, they would have immediately done something about it, and they didn't.
Right. They basically are supposed to be in charge of ensuring our security as Americans, and of course, that's exactly the opposite of what they did.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to understand what they did here. So they found out that this thing existed.
Almost immediately.
And not only did they not correct it, they then took advantage of the fact that there was this massive security flaw. So it's not just, it's what you're saying, but it's not just that they want to supposedly keep us safe. They actually are using our own vulnerabilities in our system to attack us. Right. So it's really multi-layered, no pun intended. I mean, what's going on here is nuts.
And also the idea behind this, the NSA, that they were supposed to be ferreting out all of these security vulnerabilities in the national internet, and in our own internet, and the fact that they knew about this. Not only that they knew about it and used it to attack Americans, on our own internet and our own secure passwords, they also left us vulnerable to foreign attack.
Right.
Now, what part of national defense is that is the NSA unable to understand? You're supposed to be defending us against foreign attack, and yet you just exposed all of us to foreign attack.
Yeah, so wait, just real quick. So it's affecting up to 2/3 of the entire world's websites. So if this was about protecting us in any way, 2/3. This wasn't just a couple websites. This wasn't just a couple things that they might want to track you on, like Facebook. No. This was 2/3 of the internet.
It's your bank accounts, it's your credit cards. I mean, it's a number of different sites, and there are places that you can go on the internet where you can look up whether or not your specific website, your specific accounts, your specific accounts with banks and whatever. Mashable has a great graphic that lists everything that, you do need to change it for this one, you don't need to change it for that one. So, that's a great place to look it up. I'm just blown away by the fact that, this is the foundation of our society today. You can't get a job without having some kind of access to the internet. You can't get a credit card. You can't get a banking system. You basically have to have access to the internet in order to conduct pretty much every aspect of life today. You know, if you want to participate and prosper and move forward in the economy today, you've got to have this access. And for it to be so vulnerable, so knowingly vulnerable, to put Americans at risk like this, it seems to me like there ought to be a little bit more than just this, oh no, look what they've done.
First of all, multi-layer, what was the pun?
Well, it's at many levels that this
that's
is
right.
Yeah.
Second of all,
it's literally at many levels of security and many levels of screwed upness.
Okay, good. It's
Screwed upness. I like that.
But see, they're supposed. Here's what makes it even worse, Desi, is that it's not like it would have been nice when the NSA stumbled on this glitch in the system that exposed everybody in the country, and then they stumbled on it and went, hey, maybe we should inform people to help us have a more secure internet in the United States. So it's not even their decision to make. They're charged with, they're supposed to. When they find a vulnerability in our internet, they're supposed to alert everybody. That's part of what they're supposed to be doing, and they didn't do any of that stuff. So again, Edward Snowden, criminal, guys like Mike Rogers and Dianne Feinstein, who've been protecting these people, have been doing these criminal, and they love to say, Dianne Feinstein and Mike Rogers, you know what you got to know the difference between the good guys and the bad guys. And and the NSA, they're not the bad guys. They just seem like the bad guys because they're constantly trampling over the Fourth Amendment and invading our privacy and right. That's why they seem like the bad guys, because they're always breaking the law.